Are you an international medical school graduate who is dreaming of practicing medicine in Canada? I know the process can be incredibly overwhelming, stressful, and outright confusing. I've been there. This year, as an Irish medical graduate, I successfully matched into a Canadian family medicine program right out of my final year, and I want to share with you exactly the resources that helped me along the way, from preparing for the MCC exam, NAC OSCE, to tweaking my CV and personal statement, and helping me find a support network. I want to guide you through these essential resources that can make all of the difference and hopefully make this Canadian dream of yours a reality. Hi, my name is Abdul Rahman, whatever works for you, and I am a first year family medicine resident here in Newfoundland. I did my bachelor's in Canada and I went abroad to Ireland to do my medical school, and I went through the whole CaRMS process last year, did the MCCQE, did the NAC OSCE, and then started my residency in July. It was honestly a terrible process, and I actually was hesitating to make this video because I just don't want to look at the CaRMS stuff anymore, but I know this video is going to help a lot of people who may not know all of the resources that are out there. Also, since I've been putting out a lot of other YouTube videos on how to get electives, how to study for step 1, for example, or how to do other things related to residency, I've been getting a lot of private messages from people who are asking me for help. The problem is, like, I'm in my intern year, I'm PGY1. I don't know, I still feel like I fluked my way into residency, and I'm grateful, but at the same time, you know, I feel like I still need a little bit more experience. Maybe I need to get to see some interviewees. I need to be part of the program and see who's getting in before I give, you know, specific feedback. But I know resources and people that can do that for you, who can take the time out of the day to give you resources that are more reputable, that are more tried and true than my experience thus far. So that's why I'm making this video. I also want to mention that although these groups helped me, I really relied on my friends. We were all grinding together to get into Canadian residency, and the group of people that you have around yourself makes a lot of a difference. Like, we were 4 roommates, all international medical graduates in Ireland, in the trenches, and this is all we wanted, and all 4 of us matched. Thankfully, it was very difficult, but I feel like it made a lot of the difference, and hopefully you can find your friends and you can find a support group through the resources that I'm about to tell you. And you know, it's a group effort, it's a team effort. So find people that are in your circle that want residency really bad and work with them. The other thing I want to mention is that although I'm giving you these resources, you need to be aggressive about advocating for yourself. I was in one of the webinars for when they were talking about CV, and they wanted someone to volunteer so that they can go over their CV. I think it was CV or personal statement, and nobody volunteered to share their personal statement, and I volunteered right away. I waited obviously 2 minutes and I didn't see anybody volunteer, and I volunteered right away. And I wanted, you know, they asked again after they looked at my CV if anybody else wanted to volunteer, and nobody else, I guess, prepared to volunteer, or they didn't want to show off their CV. But dude, you need to be able to put yourself out there. Like, if somebody's asking you to review the CV in front of a huge webinar, just put your CV out there, put your personal statement out there. I was doing that, man. Like, I was messaging people on the side and being like, hey, can you read my CV? Like, someone needs to look at you and be like, this person really wants it. And that's a huge determining factor. These resources are there to help you, but you need to be aggressive about it. You need to be like, okay, you know, I want it. I really want this to work out. So let's get into it. Let's get into my laptop and I'll go over it. Hey, what's up guys? Let's get into my laptop. And the first resource that I want to tell you guys about is AIMGA. AIMGA stands for the Alberta International Medical Graduate Association. And I know it says Alberta, but they serve everyone for all across Canada, from any, you know, wherever you're from. They are a really good resource. They're a huge organization. They have 6,000 members here, you know, a lot from Calgary, but out from elsewhere as well. You know, outside Canada, within Canada, a lot of specialties, a lot of family medicine specialties here. Really good. And these guys are legit. Like, you can't get an Albertan residency without these guys. So let me just highlight some of the programs that they have. They have one-on-one consults. They have information orientation, observership opportunities, mentorship opportunities, exam study groups, CaRMS preparation, MMI preparation. It just just goes on and on, lectures, workshops, a lot of things. They can help you get research if you need it. It's a really, really good resource. Needs assessment as well, and there's real doctors working in this organization who are ready to help you. What's really unique about AIMGA that is different from the other resources that I'm going to share with you is that if you want to get a residency in Alberta, you actually need to send an application to AIMGA, and you need to be eligible with AIMGA to apply to CaRMS for University of Calgary and University of Alberta. It's kind of crazy, but AIMGA basically you can't apply to CaRMS match without AIMGA's approval and all of that stuff. So they select your eligibility basically, and it's all on this website here. It doesn't say AIMGA, it says AIMG.ca. It's Alberta International Medical Graduate Program. You'll see it on my screen here, and they'll give you a step-by-step guide if you're trying to apply to a residency program in Alberta. And to be honest, I would encourage anyone to do it, because the reality is everyone and their moms is applying to a residency program in Ontario, which is fair, they have the most seats, right? But the application pool is just so large, and with things like AIMGA, there's going to be less and less people that even look towards here, because they might not want to go through the hoops and go through the extra effort of going through this process. Or it's something like IMG. Like, so many people miss out on applying to BC, which has a significant number of family medicine spots, because they just don't do the process of IMG. Either they miss the deadline or something, they get rejected from IMG, something happens. But the more filters a province has, and if you have the motivation to get through those filters, I think the better chance you have, because there's going to be a smaller application pool that's going to actually do all of the things that they want you to do. Although that application pool is going to be very they're going to be very determined, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's just going to be, the more filters you can add, the more you can do, the better. So AIMGA is for real, legit, and I haven't seen any other province that really works with an external organization to funnel people through their CaRMS match. Another really important thing that I want to highlight with AIMGA is their Alberta Clinical and Surgical Assistant Program. Now, this program is really good. I think I've heard that they actually actively select people for their residency program who have gone through this clinical assistant program. And I guess regardless whether you want to do a residency in Alberta or not, this clinical assistant program would look amazing. Why wouldn't you want to do it if you're eligible and you don't get a residency? This would be a great way to put your foot in the door, get Canadian resident letters, get Canadian clinical experience through a program that is completely legit and looks great. The caveat is that you have to do a minimum of 12 months, a full year of intern year, which is once you graduate medical school, the 1 year of postgraduate intern year. I know some people might not have that. So my plan was, if I didn't get residency this year, my plan was to do a Irish intern year, do that 1 year, and then come back to Calgary and apply for this program. That was one of the options that I could have done, because I've heard from people that I respect that they choose people from this assistant program. It looks great on their residency. Why wouldn't you? They're working in your system, healthcare system already. They have the experience already. They have, the preceptors that they're working with are probably already involved in the residency program, so they can, they have a lot of say over your application. So we went over all the services they have, this unique program, and AIMGA. The second resource that I wanted to share with you is ITPO. ITPO is I think they're a group out of Ontario, I believe, and they're really good as well. So they have a lot of webinars. I specifically went to I really found their CV and their personal statement workshop really helpful. They also have a membership. AIMGA also has a membership. The membership is $50 for 1 year. ITPO membership is, I'm forgetting, it's like $20. It's not that much, man. Like, if you're serious about getting into medicine and you need help, like, just pay the $20. Anyways, so we have, looking at this website, like, they have a lot of webinars and workshops. Look, they have the AIMG MMI, how to crack a workshop specifically dedicated to the program that I just mentioned. They have a webinar dedicated to BCCAP MMI. They have personal statement preparation, CV preparation, how to pass situational judgment tests. These are great resources, and go into the live workshops, ask questions, put out your CV if that's the workshop you go to. And they have a lot of other resources, like if you need research, if you need advocacy, just getting involved in general. I think ITPO is a great resource. Just jumping back to the AIMGA, I just realized that they had another thing here that you could do that not a lot of people know about is they have vaccination drives. Oh yeah, here it is. So vaccination navigation project. They are trying to get internationally trained medical graduates to do vaccinations in Alberta, which it would look great on your application, so why not? Anyways, that was AIMG. I'm done talking about them now. Let's go back to ITPO. ITPO, mostly I found their webinars recordings way more useful, and I got feedback from them, in a live session, so I gotta shout them out. They have a very active Slack channel, so you can, any questions you have, and you could throw in there. You can find your support people in there. The last resource is my favorite, and it's the one that's still useful to me even after I've got in residency in Canada, which is the Society of Rural Physicians of Canada. Really, really great resource here. They have a lot of webinars, and these webinars are still going to be useful to me here. Like a common sense approach to shock. I want to watch that. Common sense approach to shortness of breath. That would be a great watch for me. I think that would be really, really helpful. Management of cold injuries, emergencies in rural ED. These are things that, are still going to be useful to me. These guys also, you have to pay to get a membership, but the pay, it's like $20 or something if you're not an attending physician. Like if you're a medical student, resident or something, it's not that much. They have a dedicated IMG area in their website. So for IMGs, this was great when I was applying. International Medical Graduates Guide to CaRMS and Rural Residency, CaRMS Second Iteration Workshop for IMGs, IMG Personal Statements for CaRMS. Because they're being done by the Society of Rural Physicians, they would be more tailored for rural programs. And as an IMG, to be honest, your highest chance of residency in Canada would probably be in a rural program, because the urban program seats, I'm in Memorial University and we had the urban stream, Eastern Fam, I think it was called. Those seats get filled up for urban by Canadian medical graduates, and the seats that are left over usually are the rural seats. For example, no Canadian medical graduate wanted to go into, or not enough Canadian medical graduates wanted to go into the Nunavut stream. That's why they still had leftover seats for me to get into and be offered that seat, right? So Northern Ontario Medical School Program, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, these are all rural. They're gonna have rural programs that are gonna be left over or be more, appealing to international medical graduates, because the urban streams all get Canadian medical graduates. I hope I explained that properly. You can replay it. But really great resource for IMGs, and I particularly remember this society because I forget, there was a webinar done by a resident, and this resident had graduated from an Irish medical school, and it had taken her 3 years to land a family medicine residency in Canada, and she happened to land that residency in Saskatchewan. And just hearing about her journey and telling her that, hey, we're also from Ireland, she was so reassuring. She was so helpful in that webinar. It didn't even help my application, but sometimes when you hear a presenter and they share the same experiences as you, they have gone through the struggle as you have, or as you're going through, it's just reassuring. Not all of these webinars are gonna be 100% helpful, but they can also be reassuring. I didn't go to 100% of the webinars. I went to the webinars that were applicable to me, where I thought I needed more help in my CV and personal statement section of things. So that's what the workshops that I went to, I kind of wanted to see what feedback they were getting. And I offered them to critique my personal statement live during the webinar, during the workshop. And that's something that if you're really want it, you want that feedback right away, then I would encourage you to, you know, be a part of the workshops, participate, put your CV out there, put your personal statement out there, do what you gotta do, man. But anyways, I thought these 3 resources not many people may know of, or, you know, they might think the Alberta resource is just for Alberta. No, it's not. If you're really motivated to get a Canadian residency, I'd highly encourage you to go join these groups, do whatever you can, reach out to the physicians that are involved, and that way you can get the help you need. But yeah, good luck, best of luck. I know CaRMS season is approaching real fast, so best of luck to everyone going through this process. It's hellish, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, and best of luck, man. That's all I can say. I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, peace.